Nurturing your inner garden, the power of visioning and manifesting. Imagine a world where every individual has the power to shape their destiny, where dreams aren't just fleeting thoughts, but seeds waiting to be nurtured into reality. A world where vulnerability is strength and personal growth is as natural as the changing seasons. This isn't a far off utopia, it's a vision of what's possible when we embrace the profound wisdom of tending to our inner gardens. Today, I'm thrilled to share with you the transformative insights I've gained from an extraordinary individual who's dedicated her life to helping people unlock their true potential. Cecilia Ananya, a visionary whose work has touched countless lives, has gifted us with a powerful metaphor that could revolutionize the way we approach personal growth and manifestation. Cecilia's journey began in a moment of profound loss. Just days after her mother's passing, she found herself in her mother's garden, surrounded by the legacy of growth and nurturing that had been passed down through generations of women in her family. It was there, amidst the blooming flowers and rich earth, that Cecilia received what she believes was her mother's final gift, a powerful insight about life, growth, and the magic of manifestation. This revelation wasn't just about plants and soil. It was about people, ideas, and the very fabric of our lives and communities. Cecilia's mother, from beyond, shared a profound message. Teaching people about visioning and manifesting through the seasons could help them find their magic. This idea that we can learn to vision and manifest our dreams by understanding the rhythms of nature and the seasons of life is revolutionary. Challenges us to look at our lives differently, to embrace our power as creators, and to understand that vulnerability is not weakness, but the very soil from which our strength grows. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds beautiful, but what does it really mean? How can I apply this to my life? Let's dig deeper into this garden metaphor and unearth its profound implications for our personal growth and ability to manifest our dreams. Think about a garden for a moment. What does it need to thrive? Sunlight, water, rich soil, care, and attention. But it also needs something else, time. A garden doesn't sprout overnight. It follows the rhythm of the seasons, each playing a crucial role in the cycle of growth. In the same way, our lives, our dreams, our personal growth, they all follow seasons. There are times for planting seeds of ideas, times for nurturing those ideas, times for robust growth, and times for harvesting the fruits of our labor. And yes, there are also times of apparent dormancy when it might seem like nothing is happening. But just as a garden in winter is quietly preparing for spring, these fallow periods in our lives are often when the most important internal work is happening. Cecilia's insight challenges us to recognize these seasons in our own lives and to work with them, not against them. It asks us to be patient with our growth, to trust in the process, and to understand that every season, even the difficult ones, has its purpose. But here's where it gets really interesting and where vulnerability comes into play. To truly tend our gardens, to vision and manifest the world of our dreams, we have to be willing to get our hands dirty. We have to be willing to dig deep, to uproot what's no longer serving us, to expose ourselves to the elements. Vulnerability in this context isn't about weakness, it's about openness. It's about being willing to stand in the full light of day, exposed and say, this is who I am. This is what I dream. This is what I'm working towards. It's about being honest with ourselves and others about our struggles, our fears, our hopes. When we embrace this kind of vulnerability, something magical happens. We create space for authentic connection with ourselves, with others, with the world around us. We open ourselves up to support, to new ideas, to unexpected opportunities. We allow ourselves to be seen, truly seen, and in doing so, we give others permission to do the same. This is where the real power of Cecilia's message lies. By understanding the seasons of our lives, by tending our personal gardens with care and intention, and by embracing vulnerability as a strength, we unlock our ability to vision and manifest the world of our dreams. But let's be clear, this isn't about some kind of magical thinking
where we just wish for something and it appears. No, this is about understanding that we have the power to create change, to grow, to manifest our visions. But it requires work. It requires patience. It requires resilience. Think about a gardener facing a plot of bare earth. They don't just throw some seeds on the ground and expect a lush garden to appear overnight. They prepare the soil. They plant with care. They water and tend and weed. They protect their plants from harsh conditions. And they do this day after day, season after season. In the same way, manifesting our dreams requires consistent effort. It requires us to show up day after day, even when we don't see immediate results. It requires us to believe in the seeds we planted, even when there's no sign of growth above the surface. And here's a crucial point: just as every garden is unique, reflecting the vision and care of its tender, every person's journey of growth and manifestation is unique. There's no one size fits all approach. What works for one person might not work for another. The key is to find your own rhythm, to understand your own seasons, to tend your own garden in the way that feels right and true for you. This is where self awareness comes in. It's about learning to listen to yourself, to understand your own needs, your own cycles of growth and rest. It's about being honest with yourself about what's working and what isn't. And yes, it's about being vulnerable enough to ask for help when you need it, to learn from others, to be open to new ideas and approaches. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, this all sounds great, but my life is so busy. I don't have time to tend my garden or embrace vulnerability. I'm just trying to get through each day. And I get it. Life can be overwhelming. We're all juggling multiple responsibilities, dealing with stress, trying to keep up with the relentless pace of modern life. But here's the thing, now, tending your garden isn't something extra you have to add to your to do list. It's not about carving out hours each day for meditation or journaling, although those can be wonderful practices if they work for you. It's about bringing awareness and intention to the life you're already living. It's about pausing for a moment before you start your workday to set an intention. It's about taking a few deep breaths when you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed. It's about choosing to respond with kindness to yourself and others, even in difficult moments. It's about celebrating your small victories and learning from your setbacks. In essence, it's about being present in your life, about making conscious choices rather than just reacting, about understanding that every interaction, every decision, every moment is an opportunity for growth and manifestation. And vulnerability, well, that's not about exposing all your weaknesses to the world. It's about having the courage to be authentic, to admit when you don't have all the answers, to ask for help when you need it. It's about being willing to try new things, to put yourself out there, to risk failure in pursuit of growth and fulfillment. Let me share with you a powerful example of how this approach can transform lives. Cecilia once worked with a woman named Sarah, a successful executive who felt stuck and unfulfilled despite her achievements. Sarah had always pushed herself relentlessly, ignoring her own needs and emotions in pursuit of success. She was living in a perpetual state of stress and burnout, unable to enjoy the fruits of her labor. Through Cecilia's guidance, Sarah began to see her life as a garden that needed tending. She started small, setting aside just 5 minutes each morning to sit quietly and set an intention for the day. She began to pay attention to her emotions, treating them as valuable information rather than inconveniences to be pushed aside. As Sarah embraced this new approach, she noticed changes. Her relationships improved as she became more present and authentic. She found herself making decisions that aligned more closely with her true values. She even started a small vegetable garden in her backyard, a tangible reminder of the growth process she was undertaking internally. The most significant change came when Sarah decided to take a risk and share a long held dream with her team: to start a mentorship program for underprivileged youth in her community. To her surprise, her vulnerability was met with enthusiasm and support. Within months, the program was up and running, and Sarah found a new sense of purpose and fulfillment in her work. This is the power of tending our inner gardens, of embracing vulnerability, of working with the seasons of our lives. It's not just about personal growth, it's about creating ripples of positive change that extend far beyond ourselves. Now, let's talk about another crucial aspect of this approach: the power of visioning. Visioning is more than just daydreaming or setting goals. It's about creating a clear, vivid picture of what you want to manifest in your life. It's about engaging all your senses, feeling the emotions of your desired reality as if it were already here. Cecilia often uses a powerful exercise to help people tap into their visioning abilities. She asks them to imagine their ideal life 5 years from now in vivid detail. What does their day look like? How do they feel when they wake up in the morning? What kind of work are they doing? Who are they surrounded by? What impact are they having on the world? This exercise isn't just about fantasy, it's about creating a roadmap for your subconscious mind. When you have a clear vision of where you want to go, your mind starts to look for opportunities to make that vision a reality. You become more attuned to possibilities that align with your vision and more motivated to take actions that will bring you closer to it. But here's the key: your vision needs to be flexible, just as a gardener might adjust their plans based on weather conditions or the health of their plants. We need to be willing to adjust our visions as we grow and change. The goal isn't to rigidly stick to a predetermined path, but to use our vision as a guiding star, always pointing us in the direction of our highest potential. This brings us to another crucial point: the importance of self compassion in this process, tending our inner gardens, embracing vulnerability, visioning, and manifesting. None of this is easy. There will be setbacks. There will be times when we feel like we're not making progress, when our efforts seem futile. In these moments, we need to treat ourselves with the same kindness and patience that a gardener shows to a struggling plant. We wouldn't yell at a seedling for not growing fast enough. We wouldn't give up on a plant because it didn't bloom on our schedule. Instead, we would nurture it, give it what it needs, and trust in its inherent capacity for growth. This self compassion is not indulgence or laziness, it's a recognition of our shared humanity, of the fact that growth and change are challenging for everyone. It's about giving ourselves permission to be imperfect, to make mistakes, to learn, and try again. Let me share another powerful example from Cecilia's work. She once worked with a man named Michael, an artist who had given up on his passion due to fear and self doubt. Michael had internalized harsh criticism from his past and believed he wasn't talented enough to succeed as an artist. Cecilia guided Michael through a process of tending his inner garden. They started by identifying and uprooting the weeds of negative self talk and limiting beliefs. They planted seeds of self compassion and nurtured them with daily affirmations and mindfulness practices. As Michael's inner garden began to flourish, he found the courage to pick up his paintbrush again. He started small, creating just for the joy of it, without judgment or expectation. Slowly, his confidence grew. He began sharing his work online, then at local art fairs. The turning point came when Michael decided to enter a prestigious art competition. In the past, such a step would have paralyzed him with fear. But now, grounded in self compassion and trust in his own growth process, he was able to submit his work with a sense of pride and excitement. Michael didn't win the competition, but something even more valuable happened. His vulnerability in sharing his art touched people. He received messages from strangers who were moved by his work, who saw their own struggles reflected in his paintings. Michael realized that his art wasn't just about him. It was a way of connecting with others, of sharing beauty and meaning in the world. This is the transformative power of tending our inner gardens, of embracing vulnerability, of visioning and manifesting with patience and self compassion. It's not just about achieving our goals, it's about becoming more fully ourselves, and in doing so, enriching the world around us. As we come to the end of our time together, I want to circle back to where we started with Cecilia Ananya's powerful insight about visioning and manifesting through the seasons. This idea, born in a moment of loss and revelation, has the power to transform how we approach our lives, our growth, our dreams. We only have one life to live, one garden to tend. Let's do our best to vision, create, and manifest the world of our dreams. Let's embrace the seasons of our lives, tend our gardens with care and intention, and have the courage to be vulnerable. Because when we do, we don't just change our own lives, we should create ripples of change that can transform the world around us. So I challenge you today, start tending your inner garden. Take a moment right now to pause and reflect. What seeds do you want to plant in your life? What areas of your garden need more attention? What weeds of negative thinking or harmful habits need to be gently but firmly removed? Consider the season you're in right now. Are you in a period of active growth where you're seeing the fruits of your labor? Or are you in a quieter season where the growth is happening beneath the surface? Remember, both are equally important and valuable. Think about how you can bring more intentionality to your daily life. How can you tend your garden in small ways each day? Maybe it's starting your morning with a moment of gratitude. Maybe it's choosing to have that difficult but necessary conversation you've been putting off. Maybe it's setting aside time for a hobby that feeds your soul. And most importantly, I urge you to embrace vulnerability. Take a risk, share a dream, ask for help, be willing to be seen, truly seen by yourself and others. Remember, vulnerability is not weakness. It's the courage to show up as your authentic self, even when it's scary. Imagine a world where we all embrace this approach to life, a world where we understood that our personal growth and fulfillment are interconnected with the well being of our communities and our planet, a world where we treated ourselves and each other with the same patience, care, and reverence that a skilled gardener shows to their plants. This world is possible. It starts with each of us in our own gardens, with our own seeds of change. It starts today with the choices we make, the intentions we set, the vulnerability we dare to show. You are the gardener of your life. You have the power to plant seeds of change, to nurture growth, to create beauty and abundance. It won't always be easy. There will be seasons of struggle, of apparent dormancy. But if you stay committed to tending your garden, if you trust in the process of growth, if you're willing to be vulnerable and authentic, you will create a life and a world beyond your wildest dreams. So go forth and tend your garden. Vision boldly, manifest with intention, embrace your seasons. And remember, in every moment, you have the power to create change, to grow, to bloom. The world is waiting for your unique and beautiful contribution. It's time to let your garden flourish. Thank you.